Why do you like the rain? Everyone does, in one way or another. Maybe it's for a feeling of coziness when you know you don't have to leave the house. You know, hot cup of tea, comforting bowl of soup, and a nice blanket around your shoulders. That feeling of knowing that you've bested nature in a way. I can understand that one. Maybe it's comforting white noise for sleeping at night. Or maybe studying. It is a nice sound. Not quite as unnerving as static white noise, and not quite as artificial sounding as those ASMR wind chimes or binaural beats or whatever. It's a natural, steady noise to help your brain calm down. I understand that one too. Or maybe you just enjoy the feeling of it on your skin, the buzz of knowing that you're one with nature, and you just feel alive. That's a pretty good one. But everyone likes the rain, myself included. However, I find the rain more useful than anything. Don't get me wrong, I do love all of those other reasons. But it can get pretty loud. That much white noise filling up a town, city, or country. Quietly deafening, I call it. It's also a natural shower, or hose, or whatever. And can even become quite disorientating in dim light. The rain is very useful. No one has seen me coming yet. No one has heard the screams. And no one has ever been able to trace anything back to me. Oh, I do love the rain. Childhood. The stage of life where everything seems to be carefree. Everything seems so whimsical, colourful, active, energetic. Every positive word you could describe it. Waking up, cereal for breakfast, playing for hours, and a glass of warm milk from Mum before going to bed. What sweet memories. What I'd do to go back. Now I'm a 22-year-old man waiting for the bus after a long day of work. The same routine every day for a paycheck. Waking up, hating myself, wearing my uniform, sitting down at my desk, managing paperwork while my well-off co-workers who actually have a social life hang out and have fun after work, wait for the bus, get home, and then sleep. I have nothing to look forward to. Though it is comforting. No people to hold me back. Probably because my parents practically disowned me after they thought the course I took was useless and won't make me any money, which really took a knock on my self-esteem. Thanks, Mum and Dad. The only thought I hold on to now is my childhood. I was this energetic little kid who the neighborhood knew and loved and adored. Not that I was seeking attention, it's just that I wish life could be more colorful, you know? The bleakness of my surroundings as rain pours down heavily on me takes a toll on my thoughts. As if I wasn't feeling down enough. I had friends, playmates. I actually did well in school. I excelled way more than my peers and actually seemed to have a bright future ahead of me. Until it all came crashing down. It was a rainy day, similar to this one, when I would end up in a forest with a bully of mine. Jerry with a G, that's always how he introduced himself. He's a stereotypical bully. Big stature, big arms, big hands, and big punches. I would know. My nose bled after one punch from him. He invited me there to be friends, try to make up for him being such a bad kid to everyone else, starting with me. I loved having friends, and I thought it was an opportunity for me to actually try to hang out with the guy, get to know him better. So, I brought along my trusted friend, Mr. Button Eyes, self-explanatory and original, I know, made up of sewn yarn from my grandmother. Mr. Button Eyes was with me wherever I went. The playground, school, the mall, a restaurant, and even in that forest that rainy night. He never left my side, whether he was dirty or wet. I looked forward to cuddling him to sleep after this meetup. It didn't go as planned, though. Jerry immediately pushed me with such force, knocking me down on the ground. Disoriented, I tried to regain myself. Jerry would grab Mr. Button Eyes, who I'd lost grip of, and would attempt to tear his arm off. Not wanting to lose Mr. Button Eyes and his arm, I'd rush him, throw my whole body weight into him, screaming bloody murder as I did. Beating me up and my friends was anger-inducing, but I kept quiet. Stealing lunch money from others was the same. Acting all goody two-shoes whenever he's called to the principal's office for something he clearly did, and then getting away with it because of his act and because of the influence his family had on the school was fucked up, but it couldn't be helped. But this was personal. All I saw was his shocked face, as I'd never screamed like that in my life, before he'd realize I sent him over the cliff nearby. I was little compared to him, but that meant I was stopped by his body, and he was sent off. Still holding on to Mr. Button Eyes, Jerry would fall down the cliff. He'd scream as he did so. I would watch as he'd slide off the slope of the cliff at a rapid speed like a rag doll. Frankly, I think he would have survived. If only he didn't hit his head on a huge rock on the way down. There was a distant sound as his comparably small head hit the huge rock. I didn't feel any remorse. I felt a sense of calm wash over me. The bully was no more. I was safe. Mr. Button Eyes, well, it's been so long. I think I repressed him alongside the memories of the police investigation and how stressful it was for me and my parents. Eventually, I had a baby brother whom my parents doted over more. They treated him like another chance at raising a perfect kid while I was cast aside. Given money to shut up and keep to myself and stay away from my baby brother as I grew. I resented them all. I make it to my small apartment. A notice on the door greets me saying that my rent is due for payment. Money-grubbing landlords. I'd grab the notice and go inside, removing my shoes and sighing. I'd go to my bedroom to change. Another mundane day finished. I get to my bed, close my eyes, and sleep. Wait. But Mr. Button Eyes, on my bed, just lying there. It couldn't be. It's been years. How the fuck did it find its way here? Was someone pranking me? At this moment, everything came flooding back of what happened after I got home when Jerry disappeared. I'd slowly approach the doll and pick it up, examining it. After seeing the yarn it was made of, the exact button eyes it had, that I could remember from childhood, I could confirm it was definitely him. The detail that drove it home was how dirty he looked, almost as if he was dragged through the mud. As I held him, I felt a sharp pain on my hand. I flinch and drop him, backing away a bit. "Ow!" I exclaim. "Aw, I remember how you dropped me when Jerry pushed you away," I heard from someone. No, something. I was alone. Unless... I look at the doll as it lay on the floor. It couldn't be him, right? I thought so too, until the damn thing started standing up as if it had a life of its own. I'd start to shake as he looked up at me with those button eyes. "You left me to rot. I was stuck with Jerry's rotting corpse while you didn't even try to retrieve me. I lay there getting wet from the rain and slightly soaked in Jerry's disgusting blood," the doll said in an angered tone. "What? How the hell can you move or speak? How the fuck are you alive?" I ask, looking at the doll in fear as to what it could do. "No time for questions now. But hey, why don't we catch up? Literally. Let's play hide and seek. You hide and I seek. We used to play this when you were a little kid. I hid and you'd find me. It was so fun. Now let's switch the roles. Oh, and if you don't find a good hiding space, I'll do something worse than what I did to your hand." When I looked at my hand, it had a pretty deep cut. I was bleeding badly. It didn't even occur to me to check since a fucking doll was talking right in front of me. "I'll go ahead and count to 10. Don't worry, I won't cheat," he would say before turning around. My apartment was fucking tiny. This was unfair. Regardless, all rational thought flew out of my head as I made my way to the only safe space I knew. The bathroom. 7, 8, 9, 10. Ready or not, here I come, he would say in a cheery tone. Never have I felt such fear in my life more than I did right now. I prayed to whatever god there was that this was just a dream, that I'd wake up soon, that I'd be safe. Are you here? He shouted. Damn, not in the closet. I reflected on what had led me up to this moment. None of this could make rational sense. Not even others could explain what was going on, nor would anyone believe me if I made it out of here alive and told them. What about here? He'd shout again, looking at the small storage area which was across from the bedroom. Not here either. Then what about... He prolonged the word as he faced the bathroom door. I locked it, of course. I wasn't stupid. I hid myself in the bath and pulled over the curtain. I deeply wish I could go back. I wish I could have done things right. I was hoping I could just be a child again, and be better. That's when I heard a click from the door. It had unlocked. I kept silent. Mr. Button-Eyes spoke. See, I might have lied when I said I won't cheat. But then again, you lied to me too when you said we'd be together forever. So, I suppose this is fair. The last thing I'd hear are the bathroom curtains being pulled aside. When I awoke, it was me and Mr. Button-Eyes on the cliff. It was sunrise. Me and him looked at it for a moment before I walked away, holding him tightly in my hand. I got it. I got my life back. We would like to warn our viewers for gruesome content. A man was found dead in his apartment after neighbors complained about a foul smell coming from his residence. The 22-year-old man was found in his bathtub and deep cuts were found on his arm. The strangest thing was that the corpse was found smiling. Police had ruled the death as suicide without any evidence or foul play being found, but an investigation is still being conducted. More on this story as it develops.